simple technique for telling a story. This is the linear technique of telling a story. Typically, that's what we use in data visualization. There are about 8 different ways in which we tell stories. The one that's applicable to data visualization, the easiest one to do, the most effective one to do is the linear style of storytelling. Okay, here's another one. I'm going to tell you a story in 3 charts. Okay, one chart for each time period, right? So we've got March 2003, September 2008, May 2015. Okay. So you've got this chart, and this chart. So a data story told in 3 charts, right? And you can see that story there. So you can see that's the market share for Internet Explorer and Chrome, Google Chrome, right? And you can see that story there. It's a very simple story, and it's told in 3 charts. But the reason I've put this up is because I wanted to show you this as an example of a data-driven story, right? And so can we all see that story there, right? You can see the story of the decline of IE, or kind of like the end of IE almost, and then the story of the rise of Chrome. And we're all aware of this, right? Because nobody uses Internet Explorer. In fact, we do use Internet Explorer. We use it to download Chrome, right? That's the only time that anyone actually opens Internet Explorer first and last time, right? And so if you're able to design well, right? And design is simple stuff. It's the right use of colors. It's the correct chart, right? The chart I've used here, by the way, is it's an alternative to the pie chart, because the pie chart is, well, it's considered as the enemy of data visualizers. Professional data visualizers don't use the pie chart because it's got some flaws. It's not very efficient. There are some technical reasons which I talk about during my session about why not to use a pie chart. But luckily, the pie chart has like 3 or 4 really cool and very nice alternatives. This is one of them. This is called a waffle chart. Some people also call this they call it a square pie chart, which I don't know, sounds a little weird to me. I prefer calling it by the correct technical name. So this is a waffle chart. Okay. So anyways, having said that, getting started with data visualization is actually pretty easy. The only thing, the trick, if you ask me, right? People ask me this all the time. People have these weird notions of data visualization. I've had people tell me that you either have it or you don't, and there's nothing else that you can do about it, which is absolutely incorrect, and which is something that I don't believe in. It is a learnable skill. How did I get here? I mean, nobody taught me this stuff, right? This is all it's all self-learned. It's a journey that I undertook. But how it honestly happened, and this is my secret, and it's an open secret. It's something that we all know. It's not really much of a secret. But when I get asked this question, so Sangram, what's the secret? How did you get here? I say that it's just practice. That's all it is. Getting down to it, right? Downloading. So this is what I used to do. I used to download random data sets from the internet, from Wikipedia, from Kaggle, from wherever I could find data sets. And Wikipedia, by the way, fantastic place to download data. And I used to just visualize them. I used to create these different types of charts. I used to then critically evaluate my own charts. I used to think that, hey, is this conveying the right message? Have I even used the correct chart? Should I be using a regular bar chart, or should I be using a stacked bar, or should I be using a 100% stacked bar? What is it that clearly conveys the message? And you just have to do it over and over again, and that's how you get better at it. So the secret to getting started, or the secret to kind of becoming good at data visualization, is practice. That's all it is. And the easiest tools to use to practice are Excel and PowerPoint. So you can always learn your Power BI and Tableau and practice that, but that again is the tool, right? The reason I prescribe Excel and PowerPoint is because we're already very familiar with the functions of Excel and PowerPoint. We've been using the 2 tools and we know how they work. And therefore, you don't really end up focusing too much on the tool. You end up focusing on your creativity, on your innovation, on, trying these different techniques, right? So you don't have to really figure something out in terms of Excel. You know how to insert a chart. You don't spend time figuring out the tool. We know the tool. We can then instead figure out the other stuff, right, that I was talking about. And of course, I mean, if you're proficient with like a Power BI or a Tableau, you can do the same there as well. Okay. It kind of has the opposite effect as well. You kind of also end up honing your skills on the tool. So of course, 2 skills do go hand in hand, right? But I'll show you a few of the things that I have created using Excel and PowerPoint only. Right, so I made this using only Excel and PowerPoint, just as a demonstrator of the power of Excel. And Excel is absolutely incredible. You can do a lot of stuff. There are lots of hacks available for Excel that you can find online or you can figure out yourself. And PowerPoint by itself also is an absolutely brilliant design tool. It's a very, very cool design tool. So typically, the design tools that I use together, design and charting tools that I use together are I use Excel and PowerPoint. Excel for chart generation and PowerPoint for design. And then the other two skill sets that I kind of have are also for more advanced design, I use Adobe Illustrator along with Tableau. So whenever I'm doing something on Tableau or even a Power BI, for example, I use Adobe Illustrator for those. But these two are very cool to get started, even before you want to go to that. Here's another one that I created using only Excel and PowerPoint. Show you a couple of other examples. I was experimenting with some dashboards, right? So this is sort of like it's static, but the whole idea was to see if I could do it. And then, here's another one which I kind of created. It's got a lot of charts, right? So I wanted to see if I could, this was actually a test for myself. I wanted to see if I could convey all of this information, all of this data in like one slide, right? Because there's like a lot of stuff happening here. I thought it'll be pretty cluttered, but the secret to avoiding clutter, the secret to fitting everything in a good layout is structure. If you have that structure in your head, right? I usually do it in my head. A lot of people do wireframing. Wireframing is very helpful, where you just take a piece of paper and you sketch out what you want in terms of your layout, right? So that's another effective technique. Okay. So that's about getting started. I wanted to talk very quickly about charts because that's what data visualization is all about. That's the medium, right? So if you say that the insight is like the meat, the heart, and the soul, right? The chart is actually the medium. The chart is something that you're going to use to convey that message. And if it's the wrong chart, then you're going to lose out on that message, right? You're not going to be very effective at what you're trying to convey. Okay, so there's a whole load of charts out there. There's a massive library. The universe of charts is huge. People usually restrict themselves to 4 or 5. I've seen this very, very often, right? So 4 to 5 charts only. The bar chart, the stacked bar, the pie chart, and the line chart, right? And at the most, something that I see, I think in about almost half of all reports that I've seen in my life, right? Half, yeah, I'm talking about half, literally. The dual axis chart, right? So, and that's what the whole world is actually, that's what it's restricted to. But the world is a lot larger. When we talk about the world of charts, it's a massive world. There's about 110 at last count, if I remember. You can't really count them all, honestly, but the ones that are like very, very, very definitively used, there's like 110, 120 different types of charts. That's a massive library, right? But we don't need all of them. So that's the good news. The good news is that we don't need all of them. Many of them are useless in the business world. They're not very effective. For example, the radar chart, right? So the radar chart is not considered to be a very effective chart, and neither is the pie chart, like I mentioned before. But there's a huge load of other charts. There's a massive list. There's about 30 different types of charts that you can use effectively. Now, why would you want to use about 25 or 30 different types of charts? Because there are charts which are built for specific situations, like the slope chart is built for a very specific situation. The sunburst chart is built for a very specific situation, and so is the tree map. Now we think that we can use bar charts as one size fits all charts, right? And that's actually a wrong approach. That's not a very effective approach, because what happens is the bar chart is only well, it is effective in certain scenarios only. For other scenarios, it doesn't work. And sometimes when we don't realize this, we end up using it and we lose out on conveying insights effectively because we haven't used the correct chart, or conveying insights clearly, right? Let's use the word clear.